Hi, I'm Kelly from Kelly Jewellery. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these earrings. I've put a list below of everything you'll need to make them. So let's get to it. So today I'm making a pendant, but you can make earrings and I'll show you how to do that on the way, how to change little bits. I'm using a 25mm by 15 cab. If you're doing earrings, then you're going to need 2. So I've got 1.2mm wire, which is 16 gauge, and I've cut one length at 6 inches, which is 15 centimeters. We've got 0.8mm wire, which is 20 gauge. I've cut one length at 4 inches and 2 at 6, which is 10 centimeters and 15 centimeters. We've got 0.315mm weaving wire, which is 28 gauge. I've wound 300 centimeters onto mine, but that's for the both earrings. So if you're just making pendants, you'll need about 150, something like that. So I've wound mine onto a bobbin. These are Bobeeze bobbins by Beadsmith. So it's for working with a longer length. So you wind your wire onto your bobbin and then you reel that off and that just sits down by your side. It makes working with a longer lengths easier. If you don't have one of those, don't worry, you can just cut lengths as you go. What else have I got? So I've got a little jump ring. That's 6mm on the jump ring. So if you're making earrings, you'll need to get all that again. So make sure you've got all of those things twice. So for the earrings, you're going to need 2 8mm jump rings, roughly, and that's the outside measurement. I mean, you can use whatever you want, whatever you've got handy, and 2 ear wires. So tools, get back in place. So tools, I've got my pliers, my round nose pliers, my cutters, my nylon pliers, and my bail pliers. The bail pliers are for shaping the thicker wire, and I've got some old cutters for cutting the thicker wire because I don't want to spoil my Tronex. So all my tools are Tronex, and I've put a list of everything below just in case I've confused you too much with the pendant earrings thing. So take one of your thicker wires, I'm going to call it frame wire. Grab your bail pliers. We're going to bend it roughly in the middle. So grab the centre of that wire and bend it over. Bend it over fully and give it a wiggle so it's really quite close. And then grip the wire with your pliers. Try and show you the best I can. And we're going to take one wire out one way and one wire out the other. So we've got this, but in the middle we've got a loop. We want that loop to be tightly together at the bottom. I'm going to give it a little squeeze. So that's what we've got so far. This is now going to shape around the stone. Gracie is absolutely snoring her head off already. Soon, I'm sure as soon as I start talking, she starts snoring ever so loud. So we're shaping the wire around, roughly around the stone. So when you do position your stone, it's kind of works. Do you know what I mean? So we're doing it sort of by eye. Because of this bit here, it's hard to bend the wire around the stone on a flat surface at the moment. If you can do that, what we're going to do is get the wires to come around the stone like that. Bottom there, we're going to pinch them out. So I'm just going to reposition it to make sure I got them in the right place. I think it needs to be a bit further up than that. So I'll go a bit further up on both sides. And we don't want too much of a tight fit. It needs to be a little bit loose, just so we can fit that wire across the back to hold the stone in. I've done so many lightweight earrings lately, I thought I'll make some big dangly ones this time. So we want a little gap around the edge just so we can fit the wire on there to attach what we're looking for. So when you're doing earrings, it's best to do both at the same time. So take another length of base wire and another stone the same size. Do the same thing. Try and get a bit of a gap around the stone. Now we're going to attach the wire at the bottom there. And you can use weaving wire or you can use half round wire. So I'm going to use half round, and I forgot to mention it, so I'll add it on the list at the beginning. We're just going to wrap around those two wires. Keeping the flat side against the wires there. This little tail end from the beginning, I'm going to take that around the one side, whichever side's easiest for you, and I'll take that around to finish off. Whoops, sorry, I thought you could see. Take that around a few times just to hold the wire in place. Going to cut that at the back. Press that, where's my pliers? Oh, there. Press that little cut end down. So I've wrapped around the top a bit. Let's have a look. What's that, about a centimetre? And then I'm going to, with my braille pliers, I'm going to bend that over to the back, and I'm doing it quite close, so I don't want much, to be honest. I just want it quite small. So this we can finish at the other side. Cut that at the back, press it down, and then these wires I'm going to bend this forward a little bit. I can really bring that around. And these two wires are going to come around and out. My weave has really spread my wraps. I'm just going to pull them together a bit. I'm going to use my other cutters wire, and then I'm just going to squeeze that around into place. Make sure your stone still fits in that shape there. So if you're doing earrings, do the same to the other one. They're kind of like upside down pendants at the minute, but it'll all make sense very soon. Next we'll do a bit of weaving to add to our frame. So take 2 of your base wires and your weaving wire. So we'll start about 2 inches from the beginning of those wires. So take your weaving wire and we'll wrap 5 times around the bottom wire, and then we'll go 3 times around both wires, and that's our repeat. 5 times around the bottom wire, and 3 times around both wires. Keep pushing your weave together as you go. Please mention me when sharing your finished work made from my tutorials. Please don't show images of the back or in progress, as it gives the design away. And thanks to everybody who does. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. So we'll keep repeating that. So I've done 9 repeats of that weave. We just need the weave to be roughly the length of the side of the stone, so it just goes over the top a little bit. So we need 2 weaves per piece. So if you're doing earrings, we need to do 4 like this. So take the other wires and do 4 weaves over all those wires. So we're going to need 2 weaves per piece. So if you're doing earrings, you're going to need 4. Does that make sense? Okay. So I forgot that we're going to have to do frame bars. We've got to add some little frame bars to support the stone on these. So we'll do those next, and then we'll add all the weaves. When you do your weaves, cut your wire off from the bottom, your weaving wire. But when you cut it from the top, hold on, you just got to press down that little cut end. When you are finished at the top, leave a little bit of wire still attached on there, so we can add or take repeats if we need to, and we can have a play with those later. So do another 3 of those, and then we'll fit some frame bars. So I've done 4 of those weaves, and we'll put those to one side for now. So take your shorter base wire, because there was 2 shorter ones, and we'll fit some bars on here to hold the stone in. So we're going to fit some supports to the back. I call them frame bars, you call them what you like. So we're just going to go across the back of the frame, the back of the stone, and we're going to, you can do this in lots of different ways. You could put 3 bars in, and that will hold your stone in nicely. I'm just using base wire because I don't want these earrings to be any heavier than they already are. So I'm going to put like a zigzag in there. I'm going to put my first one across the bottom here, then I'm going to put another one coming up here, and then I might go across the top to finish it off. See how much space I've got left. So putting them to the back so they support the stone, I'm going to attach on this side here. That's going to be my first one. Does that make sense? We're just adding a bit of wire to support the to hold the stone, so this has got to be at the back. Because we want it to sit inside the frame shape. So wrap the end around the side of the frame with your wire to the back. Squeeze it around nice and tightly. And then we'll bring the wire up. So I want it about there, and I want it coming up the back to about here. And then here, I'm going to go around the frame again. That's Gracie snoring, all that noise. She's very clingy today. There's been a lot of fireworks lately, so she's actually right underneath my chair. Poor girl. I think she's got to guard me from all the fireworks. So I'll just squeeze this around a little bit just so it's... And then here what we're going to do is, if we bring it right to the back, and then at the back grip the wire and bend the wire over in the direction we want it, so that your wire comes from the back. So you're making a nice seat for your stone. You want the wires to the back. Does that make sense? I'm going to attach here on this side. Squeeze that side, and then again at the back, bend that wire, grip it at the back and bend it to the other side so it's flat, so your stone can sit against it. And I'll attach it here. That should hold the stone in. You can make sure it still fits really. That holds it nice in place. So I'll just attach to this side. To hide that little bit, because it was coming out the side there, I've squeezed it at this angle and it's pulled the wire up at the back, just so it's not coming over the side here. I'm just going to wrap around this side to finish it off. Squeeze that in place. You need to make sure the stone still fits. Lovely. Cut that off. Press that around with pliers. If you're doing earrings, pause the video now and add this frame bar to your other one, or you can go back a little bit and watch it again, and I'll meet you back here. So I've done my bars on both, so the stones are held in place. So take one of your weaves. I've got the short end here and the weaving wire is still attached. We're going to scoop it around into a curve, nice even curve. Make sure the weave is all pushed together. This is going to go around the top there. So you want to get it the same angle as the top of the stone. And then at the ends of the weave, I'm going to bend it to the back. and then post that through where you think it'll go. So because I've got my zigzag, I'll have one side going through here, on the other side at the top there. If I need to adjust it, I can move it to the bottom. Do I need to? Yep, so I'll put that to the bottom. So wiggle it round till it sits nicely against the top of the stone there, and it's nice and even. Bring the wires out to the sides the best you can. We've got it longer on one side than the other. To make sure the stone's in the right place. My stone has wiggled up a bit too. Hold it in place, take the bottom of the two wires, make sure the weave is over the top of the stone, and post it through the side, so you're wrapping the bottom wire around the frame, and then get it back in position. Pull the weave over the top of the stone again, because mine keeps moving around. There we go, and squeeze him in place. So take another weave, turn it over. So we've got, so on this one, we've got the longer wires on the right. On this one, we're going to have the longer wires on the left. So my shorter length is to the right and my weaving wire is to the left. That's Gracie, absolutely snoring her head off. She has been doing little woofs and making all sorts of noise in her sleep. I'll see if I can get a video of it. Have I woke you up, eh? Was you having a nice sleep? Have I woke you up, baby? I'm sorry, you go back to sleep. You can sleep in your bed, you know. To the video.